Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
So he's being helpful in his own prosecution. He went on Megyn Kelly's show. He just keeps confessing. I mean, I don't know how much tape we need. Kelly asked why he would show other people the classified document. Trump gave a lengthy answer that included, I'm allowed to take these documents, classified or not classified. Oh my God. He said, and frankly, when I have them, they become unclassified. People think you have to go through a ritual. You don't, at least in my opinion, you don't. But it's even beyond that because the Presidential Record Act allows you to do that as president. I mean, he just keeps repeating the same lies and incriminating himself again.
And Steph, let's take a lesson away from the Peter Navarro conviction. Peter Navarro is cut from the same dirty cloth as Donald Trump. He's yelling and screaming every day, Green Bay sweep, I'm allowed to do this. I'm going to be fully exonerated. Steph, the jury didn't have time for a cup of coffee when they were deliberating because they convicted Peter Navarro so quick it made his head spin. The same will happen, I promise you. The same will happen to Donald Trump because all of this nonsense he spews into the public square about the Presidential Records Act and declassifying things with his mind, none of that will see the inside of a courtroom, and Donald Trump will be convicted in case after case after case after case.
Yeah.
So, we can tune all this nonsense out, but I do appreciate that he keeps incriminating himself. He's going to be convicted just as quickly as Peter Navarro was convicted.
Yeah. Bradley Moss, your friend, said, credit to Megyn Kelly for letting him confess to the crimes in the indictment. She'll see this played at the trial by the government. Donald Trump looked around this week, saw Biden hit with the impeachment inquiry, Hunter hit with the indictment, decided, you know what? I'm not getting enough attention. I think I'll go confess to crimes under the Espionage Act. I mean... Okay, so let's talk about this impeachment for a second, because the rules on impeachment inquiries set during the Trump administration may benefit President Biden following the announcement that he will be formally investigated. McCarthy made the announcement without taking a House vote, which goes against the declaration by the Trump DOJ that a formal vote must be taken before an inquiry can begin. And there's Kevin McCarthy screaming yesterday, inquiry's not an impeachment. What a hot mess.
This is the Republican Party circling the drain. They have nothing. So all they can do is say, well, we're gonna talk about impeachment. They have abdicated their responsibility to govern. And when a guy like Matt Gaetz says to Kevin McCarthy, you are at a compliance sport, you better come back into compliance right now or else. I mean, how pathetic is it that Matt Gaetz can say those kind of things about a Speaker of the House? They're circling the drain. This is another sign of the Republican Party imploding, and something will rise up from the ashes. I don't know if it will be led by the Kinsingers and the Cheneys and the people, whose policies we can disagree with, but who at least said, my job is not as important as the health of our democracy. So, bring on this nonsense talk about impeachment. It's absurd, and it will continue to lose the Republicans' support. It will not gain them any support.
So speaking of the classified documents case and the newest confession on the Megyn Kelly show, you tweeted even Trump's own appointee, Judge Aileen Cannon, is now ruling against him. Can the legal landscape get any worse for Donald Trump? Is my impression she seems to be slow walking this, but also this latest ruling was not good for Trump. Can you explain what's happening in that case?
Yeah, now she's slow walking it in a way that, Steph, I've seen federal judges slow walk cases for decades. It's unfortunate, but it's reality of the federal practice. So all we can do is continue to watch her rulings. And she just ruled against Trump, saying, no, you can't have these documents and review them at Bedminster and Mar-a-Lago without any adult supervision. So she did smack him down, but I don't think we can expect a timely trial when Judge Cannon is presiding. But you know what? If Judge Cannon ain't going to do Trump a solid, no judge is going to do Trump a solid.
Yeah. It's like a bank robber, isn't it? Saying, could I see the money that I stole? Could I have it back at my house again? I just need to look it over. Okay, so a judge has ruled in favor of severing Ken Cheeseborough, and Sidney Powell's cases from the other 17 co-defendants in the Georgia election racketeering case. Chesborough and Cheeseborough. Excuse me.
Cheeseborough.
And Cheeseborough.
You're not supposed to say that.
Cheeseborough. And Powell having separate trials in the case, ruled Judge Scott McAfee is simply a procedural and logistical inevitability. However, he also denied their motion to stay any court proceedings until a federal court can rule on removing charges to another jurisdiction. So the severing comes because of the Speedy Trials Act, but obviously this isn't Fani Willis wanted to try everybody together. Explain your thoughts on what's happening there.
Yeah. So first of all, the Cheeseborough thing. I mean, I just,
Thank you.
John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd just popped into my head.
Right.
Which I
Absolutely.
love.
Thank you.
I was going with Kenneth Cheeseborough and Sidney the Kraken Powell being
Yes.
tried together. That's a cheese and Kraken
Yes,
affair.
that's
which,
true.
I-
Hey! If only we could get him on a panel at Sexy Liberal with that.
That would be
planet.
brilliant.
What?
So here's the thing.
Cheese and
Everybody
Kraken.
needs
I get
to-
it.
Everybody, Steph, needs to rejoice in the fact that Cheeseborough and Powell will be going to trial in October together without Donald Trump at the table. Here's why that's
Okay.
so valuable to the court of public opinion. The lawyers that represent Cheeseborough and Powell are going to attack the evidence during that first trial that incriminates Cheeseborough and Powell. But all of the evidence that's going to pour in, and we're going to see it because it's televised and live streamed, that incriminates Donald Trump will go completely unchallenged, unaddressed, and unrebutted because Trump's lawyers will not be at counsel table. So it is going to be a powerful presentation about Donald Trump's crimes
okay.
that we will get to see for ourselves. It's going to crush him in the court of public
That's
opinion.
the other side of it, Glenn. You're right. I saw you say that on TV because people are saying, oh, this benefits the later defendants because they get to see all the evidence. But you're right. That cuts both ways. You know, they say an attorney should never ask a question he doesn't know the answer to. I know the answer to this already. Sidney Powell tells the court her Georgia actions were authorized and the case should be tossed. What do you think's going to happen with that, Glenn?
I think Judge McAfee is going to deny that motion, and Sidney Powell will be on trial beginning on October 23rd.
Yeah, she said the breach of the voting equipment in Coffee County, which she participated, was authorized. Oh, I see. Not since what was it in the Grinch, Chris? Where he took the tree to be fixed up there. I'm gonna
and
take
bring
that
it down
machine
here.
and I'm going to bring it back there.
Yeah.
It was authorized, Glenn.
It was authorized. That's like a case, the defendant arguing that, that victim needed a good killing.
Yeah.
Yes. Real quick. Oh my God, I can never have enough time for you. I thought there's so much criming, it's hard to keep track. But Trump facing one of the ones that has largely gone unremarked on, reading from a news story, is the business fraud case in Manhattan, the Stormy Daniels hush money payoff case. District Attorney Alvin Bragg has been quietly outmaneuvering Trump, wrote several legal experts. If he's convicted, he could face 34 counts. Each could bring up to 4 years in prison. Not only are these types of charges regarding false business records the bread and butter of Manhattan DA's office, but this case is also at its heart a democracy case. Last one, Bragg has done more than build a solid case. He's also deftly coordinating with prosecutors in other cases, filing motions in court to time his trial in a way that won't interfere with the Jack Smith cases, etc. This is only the latest in a series of shrewd and successful moves by Bragg that have largely gone unnoticed by the media and the public. Last one. Bragg has demonstrated true statesmanship, staying the course, continuing the investigation, pushing forward in spite of external and some internal sniping, and ultimately stepping aside temporarily. They concluded, adding that he has transcended parochialism and politics, focusing only on the public good and deserves our thanks. I always think of you saying someone's got to take the maiden legal voyage, and he did. So what's your take on where we are with that?
He did, and that helped open the floodgates to, Donald Trump being indicted up and down the eastern seaboard. And the Bragg case will be an easy case to prove because it's a paper case. You've got the falsified business records right there. There's no escaping a conviction. The only question is the timing of that trial. Will it now get pushed well down the road after Donald Trump's March trial in Washington, D.C.? But we should all remember that at its core, this falsifying business records case was Donald Trump's attempt to steal the 2016 election. Yeah. This isn't just he was not trying to pay the IRS as much as he owed them. So let's remember, this was also, as you say, a democracy busting series of crimes by Donald Trump.
Thank you very much. All right, are you aware that you are on the Sexy Liberal panel along with Ron Perlman and Rob Reiner,
Yes.
October 21st, here in Los Angeles, sexyliberal.com.
And he's going to be somewhere this weekend.
Yes, quickly.
So next weekend, September 22nd, 23rd, I'll be presenting for the first time at CrimeCon down in Orlando, Florida, on a crazy case that I handled, and also, even more importantly, on the Homicide Victims Families Rights Act, giving victims of violent crime who had a loved one taken from them a statutory right to demand that their loved one's murder investigation be reviewed. That's the legislation I worked on with Eric Swalwell. Joe Biden signed it into law last year, and I'm so excited to be presenting on that.
Sweet.
Did you ever know you are my hero? You are the wing
Crime
beneath
Con.
my justice wings. Goodbye, honey. I love you.
I love you, Steph. See you guys.
All right.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.